Welcome back to another Battlefront update. Before we start things off here, I did want to quickly get this out of the way, but I have been having some technical difficulties in the last couple of days, which is why I haven't been able to properly cover some of the other news surrounding the game. I was actually hoping to do a system wipe today, but decided to hold off on that for the sake of this community transmission. Which, dang, it dropped really late today, and I'd be very wrong if I said that this was the first time that this had happened for a community transmission. But it's something that we've all come to know and accept, as that is the realities that DICE are dealing with right now. Alright, with that out of the way, now let's talk about the community transmission itself. There are a couple of main highlights here that I will be covering, and as well a lot of bug fixes and miscellaneous changes. For the sake of brevity, I won't go through all of that, as there's quite a bit of small things that most people won't really care to or notice. But I will point out some of the more important changes inside the patch notes that I found interesting. Alright, for starters, the new Capital Supremacy map that's coming out tomorrow is now confirmed to be Kashyyyk. We knew this was the case after Dennis Brandfall already leaked out the information last week, but this is of course confirmation from DICE's end. Now, what excites me here is that, well, other than Capital Supremacy, which will now have more than one map playlist, is that the Capital Supremacy Kashyyyk will take place on the beachfront region of the map, which is personally my favorite part of the Kashyyyk Galactic Assault map, so I'm glad that this is where they're going to be going with that. And remember, just like with Geonosis, this map will be using the Galactic Assault map as the base, and then doing the necessary changes that need to be made to make it properly function in Capital Supremacy. What we also know about the Kashyyyk map is that the command posts will be of a greater importance, as the distance between all of them will be now much more farther than it was in the Geonosis map. So as a result, there's going to be more emphasis on vehicle play this time around. As spawn locations are concerned, the droids will be spawning on the beachfront, while the clones will be utilizing the downed Venator as their spawn location. Now, one thing that a lot of people are going to be disappointed with is, once again, the lack of starfighters, as DICE previously decided not to include them on Geonosis for Capital Supremacy, stating that was done merely only for gameplay balance, as there wasn't enough cover on Geonosis to really include them. But not to worry, as starfighters would still be a part of Capital Supremacy going forward. And well, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case anymore. By the looks of things, it's now been decided that starfighters are no bueno for all Capital Supremacy maps, even if Kashyyyk does have more places that they cover. And yeah, it's disappointing to see DICE continue to ignore starfighters in the game like this, especially in such a cool mode like Capital Supremacy, which was touted as a large-scale sandbox experience. Yet there are still unfortunately limitations in place here like so for the foreseeable future. Now, what really thrilled me is that we'll be getting a totally new hero appearance in tomorrow's update, which is none other than Leia's iconic Princess of Alderaan appearance from A New Hope. And when I saw this, man, I almost freaked out, as I immediately had to scroll through my old videos to find the video when I talked about the Leia, Han Solo, and Luke New Hope appearances that were first leaked to come to the game back in September of 2017. Take that in, people, these appearances have been a thing since September of 2017, and now we're finally getting 1 out of 3 of them. According to some_info, who also leaked out information on this back in 2017, and as well DICE, who literally included the Han Solo New Hope skin in their official Battlefront 2 trailer. We knew for so long that for sure that these appearances have been locked away this entire time for no good reason. And really, I completely forgot about them, as it's been so long since September of 2017, which was the last time we talked about them, as those skins being leaked back then was actually news. Now, we don't know whether these skins were actually finished and ready to release. Well, at least the Han Solo skin was, as they actually used that in the Battlefront 2 trailer, but nothing for sure to say about the Luke and Leia skins. However, if it's anything like all the Clone Legion skins that were finished and locked away for so long, or the rest of the Rebel Alliance infantry appearances that are still locked to this day, then we can safely assume that they have been done for quite a long time now. As that's just DICE's thing, I guess, make a whole bunch of appearances at the start and then take ages to release them all, if at all. Now, DICE's excuse is because May the 4th is in only a few days, that's why they're releasing the Leia New Hope appearance, but yet no mention at all about the Luke or Han Solo New Hope appearances. which is incredibly weird as I don't understand why you wouldn't just release all of them together as a batch for May the 4th. Although there is a catch for Leia's appearance, as you won't be able to purchase it straight out. Rather, you're gonna have to unlock it, as players will have to take part in an in-game event by capturing command posts in Capital Supremacy. This in-game event being the May the 4th special event, which will begin on May the 1st and run until May 6th, with a few more details set to drop on the event in the next few days. Next big change coming in the update is that YODA and Darth Maul will now have a blocking system. After much discussion and tweaking, as well as a healthy amount of player feedback, DICE are adding blocking for YODA and Darth Maul. YODA will still have the ability to absorb blaster bolts and lightning, but he'll use his lightsaber to defend himself against lightsaber attacks, while Darth Maul will use his lightsaber for both. This of course isn't breaking news or anything like that, as we've known about it for quite some time now, but once again, it's confirmation from DICE that this is arriving in tomorrow's update, so be prepared for that. I do however find the line that says that heroes with longer lasting abilities will now not be interrupted by opponents using force powers, which is interesting. This applies to General Grievous's Unrelenting Advance, Darth Vader's Force Choke, and Darth Maul's Chokehold. And something tells me that there will be a lot of light side heroes which won't be too crazy about this change. And speaking about heroes, I also feel that I should at least touch on the Anakin Skywalker nerfs, at least rather quickly. As you can see, his Pull Dominance, Retribution Range, and Passionate Strike will all take a hit, as well as Deflect Stamina. However, need not worry, as even despite these nerfs, I think Anakin will still be a force to be reckoned with out on the battlefront, as I'm not sure if just decreasing the range of the abilities is really enough. If DICE really wanted to nerf Anakin, then his damage output should also be decreased as well, and maybe his health just a tad bit. Although no matter what, I don't think DICE really want to nerf Anakin too much, as they still at the end of the day want him to be the strongest hero in the game, which I can completely agree on. But either way, you guys know me, I prefer the play of the trooper units in the game, and when I do, I always try to avoid Anakin whenever I can anyways. So for me, these nerfs don't really mean too much, as I'll still get destroyed by Anakin if I go at him as a normal trooper, nerf or no nerf. We also have the full list of improvements coming to arcade mode as well, especially what tweaks will be made for the enemy AI, which was a highly requested feature after seeing how good they are in Capital Supremacy. Now while we don't know if the AI from Capital Supremacy has been ported over to arcade or not, but what we do know is that the arcade AI will have improved decision making, be more faster and agile than before, and also have better targeting as well. It's still hard to say if they'll be playing anywhere close to the Capital Supremacy AI, as that's still left to be seen. But this is still a much welcomed improvement nonetheless. Now this is actually really good news, well mostly for the offline players, as this is the first time in a long time that DICE have really done some pretty big changes just to how arcade mode plays. Now of course, every offline player is still looking forward to that large-scale offline mode, and while DICE did say it's still in the works technically, it's difficult to say if we'll be still getting that this year at all. But DICE making changes to the arcade mode, especially the AI, is a step in the right direction. As now seeing how DICE have updated some things around in arcade, I have to say it's a very positive sight to see for the future of arcade, and hopefully this means one step closer to us getting that large-scale offline mode that we all crave for. Lastly, it seems that we may be getting some kind of emote or command system to have better communications with our teammates out in the game. As for anyone who's played Battlefront since 2015 on the consoles, will tell you that the communication of teammates is an incredible pain in the you-know-where. So having any way to communicate with them would be amazing. PC players are at least able to text amongst themselves thanks to the keyboard, but console players are straight out of luck there. Fortunately, it looks like DICE will plan to do something about this judging by Jay Ingram's latest comments on the issue. And yeah, this may likely be their new command system where DICE openly advertised that they were working on back in June of last year, where we haven't heard anything about it since then, not even a single peep. But do keep in mind, if this is that, then don't expect this to arrive in tomorrow's update. If anything, we may be getting this for the May update or possibly June. At least that's just me speculating here. Of course, I'll keep you updated on this like always, once we do get more official information. But that'll do it for this Battlefront update. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel to not only support it, but keep up with Star Wars news, gaming, and canon lore released every week. And consider following me on Twitter and Facebook to never miss out on the latest Star Wars related content. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.